Hey, what's up? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this video and who needs to see it, but I don't even know if anyone needs to see it. But this is going out to the Americans. Like, I live over here in Australia, and I grew up in New Zealand. Moved here to Australia about 10 years ago. But recently, man, there's something that's really bothered me about American media, and just seeing like just footage and different videos coming out of America. Because you grow up and you hear that America's the world leader in this, and America's the world leader in this, and for the most part that's how I feel. All the trends come from America. If there's anything that we hear about, or it all starts there. It seems like that's where the foundation of almost everything that we know start from America. Even in my own language, the Tonga language, they refer to America as, you can say Whanua Lahi, which is the great land, or the large land. But anyways, the thing that's been bothering me is the media. Like, I can't stand the media, and how it's almost like it's like getting into an argument with your siblings. Like, all logic has gone out the door, and it just seems like I've seen interviews with Donald Trump, where he's been interviewed by these major TV networks. Like, we don't see them here. Like, some of them are like ABC. Like, I don't know if they are big networks or not, but the feeds are coming up, and like, people don't want to answer questions. People don't want to answer questions. These media companies, they don't want to answer questions. And they're more interested in telling a story that they want to paint than actually listening out for answers. So that, like, it almost seems like when they're asking questions, if you're not answering it to what they want, they're not interested. To be honest, sometimes it's like when you're arguing with your siblings or your kids, but it's just frustrating. And you look at it, and you would hope that there's a bit of common sense out there. But you've got these adults, you like to think they're sophisticated adults, sitting there interviewing, but it's almost unrealistic, because you think it only takes a little bit of common sense, to have a better conversation, than what these guys are having. Like, for example, the one that I saw today was Donald Trump having an interview with some guy. I don't know his name, but and the guy was like, You know, why are you sending back these guys to Mexico, I think? You know, and Trump was saying, oh, you know, he's part of this gang. He's a verified gang member. And so he's been deported because of his crimes, and he had like a MS-13 thing. So apparently the gang he was part of was MS-13. It was on his knuckles, tattooed on his knuckles, and you know, and Trump was saying, well, you know, you can see the photographs, you can see the proof if you want. And then, you know, instead of like carrying on, like it was his question, you know, instead of carrying on and saying, oh, you know, maybe like seeking out the truth, maybe like, okay, let's go and verify whether he is part of, like, you think that that's what news reporters would do, like, you know, get down to the nitty gritty of the news, you know, like you hear a conspiracy, and isn't that what reporters do? Like, you go out and search for whether that story is the truth or not. But anyways, yeah, and then this guy, so he asks a question about why Donald Trump's deporting this one guy, and Donald Trump says, well, you know, he's been verified as a gang member, and because that, you know, I assume that that's not what he wanted to hear. You know, he goes, oh, I want to move to Ukraine. It's almost like you spit a dummy, you know, like it's like the kid wants something. It's like when a little baby says, oh, I want the you know, oh, give me my bottle, you know, and then you say, no, you can't have it, or you can't have that treat, and then they throw a tantrum, you know, and then you say, here's the treat, here's what you asked for, then they're like, nah, I don't want that anymore, you know. I just don't get it. You know, you know, I'm new to this stuff. I'm new to, like, you know, this political stuff. New, just, you know, hearing it on the news and all that. But it just baffles me that this appears to be what America's dealing with at the moment. You know, it sounds like they've been dealing with it for a long time. But I'm a little bit worried now, because I'm just thinking, man, if this reporter's like this to the President of the United States, you know, and it's almost awkward, because, you know, Donald Trump in the interview had to you know, had to really make the situation awkward by confronting him right then and there, and you know, and just putting, kind of like trying to get him not to change the subject, or get him to confront, you know, some of the questions. But I'm just wondering, like, you know, had it been me or someone else that isn't as sort of dominant or as confident as Trump, like, you know, you would just sit back and just accept the news, you know. Yeah, I don't know. That's just me, man. And I'm a nobody. You know, I just tried to start a YouTube channel yesterday, and, you know, because of that, you know, I came across this video last night, so I don't know. I don't even know if anyone's gonna watch this, but man, you know, I give it up to President Trump. You know, I think he's a straight shooter. I wasn't a really big fan of him because, you know, apparently he was you know, he was a racist and all that sort of stuff. But after watching that interview, I think I don't know. It seems like someone's trying to control what's being pushed out to the media. So, I don't know. Man, it's crazy because now my mind's starting to think, what are they hiding? Like why are they pushing that? Or why did they have to go that far? Like, why wouldn't they just accept? Like, doesn't it make sense? Like, if someone's doing wrong in your country and they don't belong in your country, doesn't it make sense to just put them back in the country that they belong? Does it make sense? Like, someone does wrong by you, like, just go back to, just go back to where you came from. Like, go commit crime there. Like, I'm baffled at why then would you change the subject? Like, why wouldn't you want to know about that stuff? I don't know. But man, yeah. Anyways, man, it's yeah, it's obviously mind-boggling for me, but yeah, let us know what your thoughts are if anyone does watch this video. But yeah.